What's going on? We back. Goodfella Sports TV. Yes, we changed the name over a little bit earlier than expected. Kind of changed the name over, like I explained in my last live stream, to represent more of what we talk about. And yes, I'm cutting the boxing content by a lot, but not, all the way out. So I'll be more of a well-rounded channel. I always did more than boxing, but this name kind of attracts a different audience and pay more attention to the videos that I do drop. So shout out to you guys. Some of my social medias already changed, but those links are in the descriptions. And the ones that's yet to change will change, and I'll keep you updated. But the email's the same. If you want to donate, that link's in the description. All that's the same. Just change the name, but the links are there. But apparently 50 Cent is trying to sue Rick Ross. Tried to sue Rick Ross and got rejected. Like Muggsy Bogues going up for a layup in Mutombo saying, "Get that out of here," okay? That's what happened, all right? I'm going to link an article from TMZ. Complex got an article, so we're going to talk about it as well, okay? And what happened here is Rick Ross on Renzo remixes on a mixtape that I must have missed. I'm not as current on the new rap like I used to be, okay? But, I'm going to give you a review on that T.I. album. Check out that Styles P joint with Dave East. I like both of those guys, all right? Apparently, Rick Ross did a rap over In the Club beat. So 50 Cent tried to sue him for rapping over the beat without his permission. And, the judge threw that out. And I'm going to tell you why the judge threw that out. And this conversation is going to get deep. So some people will appreciate where it's going to go. Some people might not understand, but or might not like it. So it's not going to be offensive or anything like that. So just want to give you a disclaimer real quick. And where I'm going at with this is the fact that 50 Cent did not own the rights to In the Club. The rights were owned to Shady Aftermath. Now, for my hip-hop historians, probably 80s, 90s, early 90s babies, y'all remember when Jay did the takeover in response to Ether to Nas, okay? And he said, y'all sampled your voice. You was using it wrong. I know exactly who I paid. And it was some publishing company saying that Nas didn't even own the rights to, his voice on Dead President. We said, I'm out for Dead Presidents to represent me. And apparently 50 Cent didn't own In the Club the beat or the song in general, I believe. And on those grounds, the judge threw the lawsuit out. They are going to appeal or still pursue to try to sue Rick Ross for the sum total of $2 million. And the issue was, where people think 50 Cent was trying to go tit for tat, was that 50 Cent got sued for $7 million for leaking the sex tape of Rick Ross's ex baby mama, okay? And she got $7 million, so they thought 50 Cent was trying to go back and retaliate and get $2 of them millions back off Rick Ross, okay? And like I say, man, going back to New Edition, going back to, NWA when they was getting played out of money, or even going to the R&B side with TLC, some of the more famous groups or individual artists. I don't know how music has got so effed up. We're effing the artists where they don't have full rights to their royalties, even in the 2000s. Because back in the day, Ray Charles, he owned all his shit, I believe. James Brown owned all his shit. Sam Cooke owned a lot of his stuff, and Sam Cooke and James Brown were so wealthy that they were about to be the first black people to own a major distribution company for music. We know what happened to Sam Cooke, which I want to talk about, and James Brown pulled out the deal, but James Brown had private jets. They was very, very wealthy men, and times have changed to the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, even today, where artists are still getting played and not owning the rights to their music. Go to Death Row. Suge Knight owned all the masters to all the Death Row music. When he went to jail sometime in the 90s, early 2000s, Interscope stole that. So they stole a lot of his wealth, okay? So all these artists has been getting played for years, and that's what Jay-Z and Dame Dash was fighting for. They weren't fighting because Jay-Z wasn't a hot artist back in the 90s. They were fighting because they already knew how dirty the business game was, and they wanted to own the majority of their rights in their music, and they didn't want to get no half deal like a lot of artists did. Where a lot of artists, the next of kin, didn't own the music, okay? Like Biggie. P. Diddy, Puffy, Sean Combs, owns all his music to this day, all the rights, all the royalties. Okay, so 50 Cent didn't own the royalties to in the club. Okay, and a lot of rappers today don't own their royalties. That's why you see a guy like Young Dolph want to remain independent and not take the deal. Because you take that money, if somebody gives you $22 million, I'm not saying that's what he got, but that's what he claimed he got. I'm not going to call him a liar. I mess with Dolph. But if they're able to give you $22 million up front, what are they going to make on the back end or during your duration through that contract? Like Schoolboy Q said. He said, I signed this deal and I can't even drop a mixtape. You lose creative power, and not on top of that you lose creative power of your career. You lose creative control. You can't drop mixtapes. You at the mercy of the record label. They own all your royalties, all your rights. You know, they send your royalty checks when they want to because it's through them. So for 50 Cent to still try to pursue this case, which his legal team must have still advised him to pursue this case, knowing that may be the end-all be-all sticking point, which he's spending money on his legal team, that since he didn't own the rights to end the club, because Shady Aftermath did, he could not sue Rick Ross. Even though they're going to appeal and still pursue this case, if they could, and if they could, I'm pretty sure they would have went to Shady Aftermath to have them back this up. You know? But apparently, I'm pretty sure they already did that. That didn't work. But at the end of the day, it's a sour grape story, but it's a story to be told within a story. All you young artists out there that's slaving and dying for a deal, you know, make sure you read your deal and make sure you got it uptight. And like I said, man, a lot of people hit me up saying, how does this dude not own the rights to his own song? Well, you got to have the money to produce it. Shady Aftermath had the money to produce it, engineer it, distribute it through Interscope. And, you know, that's the music game. A lot of these dudes y'all think out here really rich is just super famous, okay? New Edition was out here for the majority of their youth, you know, going into their adult years, out here famous and broke. TLC was out here famous but broke. You know? Not saying that 50 Cent got a raw deal. Obviously, he made a lot of good business decisions with a lot of his things he did with vitamin water and all the other stuff he did. But for you to this day not to own the rights to your biggest song, I'm pretty sure you don't earn the rights to your biggest album. And he's a superb businessman. And it sounds like he got a raw deal. Okay? Most artists do. Most artists don't really make money off their first deal. The record label do, because it's about the advances. They recoup the advances. He don't make money off of record sales or streams now. The record label do. Lil Uzi Vert had a song, I'm not a fan of his, but XOXO Love Some Crap, where he got so many million streams that, you know, the record label made 10, 15, 20, I'm throwing out a hypothetical number out there, and he made like 600,000 while they made 10, 15, 20 million off the song. Okay, still to this day, people are aware of 360 deals. They're aware of the record label being criminals and crooks and really finessing the artists out of rights and royalties. And they take this upfront advance money, not knowing they're going to recoup the advance. They're going to need that advance back. And you ain't going to really make money till you hit the road and do tours and do shows. That's how you get your real money. But people still not aware of that. They still not aware of that. Even to this day. Even 50 in 2003, plenty of artists have been messed over. I'm not saying that his deal is super raw, but how do you not know or not know it's a major factor that you don't own the rights to your music? That's not going to fly in the court of law. I'm pretty sure he had multiple lawyers on this case. And maybe he said, go ahead and go through with it. But at the end of the day, Rick Ross won again. I feel that Rick Ross beat him in the battle, in my opinion. Okay. Rick Ross, baby mama beat him for leaking a sex tape for $7 million. She came up. Okay. And Rick Ross beat him in court again. You know, and at the end of the day, he gonna keep spending money to stick it to Rick Ross. You couldn't stick it to him bar for bar. You couldn't stick him in the court of law. Well, you're gonna have to shoot the fade with Rose then, man. You know, and if you get beat up by Rose, man, you just can't beat him, dog. You just can't beat him. So, you know, it is what it is, man. Like I said, I linked the article in the description, man, from TMZ. Complex got an article on it. Miami Herald even has an article on it. Congratulations to Rick Ross doing your thing. But, you know, it is what it is. 50 still balling, still doing his thing. Power doing good. You know, good business, man. So get the strap to Viacom, I believe. So he get money. He's just trying to stick it to Rose one more time. Shout out to everybody. Appreciate y'all checking us out. Goodfella Sports TV. It's our first official video under this Goodfella Sports TV name. Support us, subscribe, hit the bell icon. We're going to do some live stream on some music, top albums, album reviews. We do NBA, boxing, sports, MMA, all types of stuff. But shout out to everybody that support us, and we continue to do what we do, man. One time for the one time. We gone.